Rachel Leblang. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's Rachel Joseph, but Leblang's still my performer name, so it's just easier for everything.
Awesome, awesome. I'm going to ask you tonight's question first. Oh, and just so everybody knows, also the character you play.
Oh, yes. Yuza, Matari.
Awesome. All right, so tonight's question is, what is in your booth, first of all?
There's lots of things, but microphones and, amps aren't very exciting. The weirdest thing I have in my booth is I believe this is supposed to be a soap tray, like for on your sink, but he's a whale. And I find him adorable, and he eats tea bags. So I have lots of tea that goes into my booth, and I have to pull the tea bags out somewhere. So he ends up getting very full of tea bags throughout the day.
Oh my gosh, that's actually really smart. That's cool. And
it's the nice one I have.
If you were not a narrator, what would you be doing?
I probably would either still be a voice actor. I would have gone the super academic route and gone into like a PhD program for linguistics, because I'm that level of nerd. I'm like, why do we say that? Yes, let's really find out.
But I mean, that helps you with your narrating because...
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so how did you fall into narrating?
So my husband has a favorite book that for 1 year I wanted to have all of his friends read different characters for it, and I'd make it into an audiobook, because I listened to audiobooks when I was driving from North Carolina to Michigan a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'll make an audiobook, but his friends will be all the characters. And it took me like 18 months to put it together. But I loved the process of it so much that I ended up just like falling further down the rabbit hole and starting to do independent projects. And then it just all spiraled out of control from there.
You're like, how did I narrate so many books? It's like a bad habit.
I know. I just can't stop.
Oh, and also chat, if you guys have questions for Rachel, throw them up there so I can ask her. So what kind of genres do you normally do?
I do a lot of fantasy, lit RPG, and romance.
Ooh, you're the lit RPG. I knew somebody in the group was lit RPG. That is a very niche thing.
Yes.
So why don't you tell everyone, first of all, what is lit RPG?
So lit RPG is literary RPG. It is usually books that have characters that are leveling up, and you have all the character sheets that you're reading in a different voice, or you'll have like computer prompts that you're reading through, like as the characters are going through things. It tends to have a lot of elements of like being in a new world. So you're someone who either found their way into an area of the world they weren't supposed to be in, or they ended up being teleported there, and then they're leveling up and they're trying to figure out what is going on around them.
Mm-hmm. How do you, because it is such a interesting, it's supposed to feel like a game, but it reads like a story. So how do you approach that versus other narration, or is it all the same to you?
No, I mean, I'm a big gamer like in my free time, so lit RPG is really easy for me because I'm very familiar with level up concepts and like picking feats or skill trees and stuff. So it's very entertaining to me when I'm in the booth, because it's also my decompression hobby. Mm-hmm. But I made the mistake my very first lit RPG reading the character sheets in like a really peppy cheerleader voice, because it was an easy way for me to like distinguish the computer like sections. Mm-hmm. So it would be like dexterity 15, and every like author I've worked with since then has just been, yeah, do that. Like, we don't want the generic computer voice. Just do what you normally do. And it's like, okay, cool. I will do that. That's great.
That's awesome. Should I do that for our sessions? Be like, do a dexterity check.
Dexterity check.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
You failed.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Matthew would like to know, if you could have one ability from D&D, what would it be and why?
Oh, there's so many good ones. I mean, the real thing is I just want like a 25 perception. like whenever I really need something, because I'm one of those people that like won't pick up like on surroundings. Like my
Mhm.
husband will be like, "Did you see that?" And I'll be like, "No, I was not looking at all." So I wish I could just get like a hard bonus on perception checks because I don't look at all.
Oh no. That's funny. That's really funny. Wow. So if you were going to give advice to up and coming narrators, anyone who wants to get in the field, what would you tell them?
Don't be afraid to start doing it. A lot of narrators that I meet that are starting out are terrified because there is kind of a permanence to our business. Like,
Hmm.
as soon as it's out on Audible or wherever it goes, it's there forever. And we all have things that, when we're starting out and looking back, be like, oh, I wish I had done that different or X or Y. But like, get coaching and just start throwing stuff out there because that's how you're going to get the most experience.
Hmm. No, that's good. That's really good. Man, it's funny. Pre-show, we were all talking about reviews. Never
Yes.
read the reviews.
Yes, pre-show, I was telling the rest of the group that I had gone on Audible because I needed to look up what had recently come out for like suggestions and stuff, and just the review tunnel you can go down.
It's
It's
very,
so
yeah,
thing,
yeah, and
so scary.
it's hard too because we're also actors,
Yep.
narrators, but actors first and foremost. And you leave it all out there on the table. You like, put all your heart and soul into it, and then they're like, that death scene wasn't emotional enough, and you're like, what, you know, or something, and you're just like,
I was
ouch,
in it.
guys, ouch,
I was doing my best.
It's like,
I felt
oh,
it.
but yeah, it's weird. It's I don't know,
Mhm.
conveying
The
the
best
human
advice I
condition.
ever got is any narrator that you really love, or any actor, even a writer that you really love their work, go and read their 1-star reviews. And then you'll understand that everyone has them and they almost all have the same tune to them.
Oh man. There's got to be someone out there who's like, I'm just going to give 1 stars just because I can, you know?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh man. Cool. I don't know if we've got any more questions from the chat. I'm looking right now. Doo, doo, doo. Spencer says he wants to get into lit RPG, narrating it. Um, it
Oh,
really is
yeah.
such a niche.
It is such a
Yeah.
niche. I started working through ACX and then I got lucky in that like 3 authors just started giving me their catalog.
Oh
And that was
wow.
how I was able to start like really building a repetition of doing it. And then from there, I got Podium and other people involved, but it was really luck of the draw with getting some authors on there.
That's awesome. I mean, because once people know you for like a certain thing, they
Yeah.
can come back to you for it. Yeah.
Hmm.
And Greg Joseph wants to know your favorite cookie type.
Greg Joseph is my husband, so
You
of
don't
course
know
he
her
wants
favorite cookie? What?
of course he wants to know that. It's honestly hard because it changes. I make peanut butter cookies the most because we have peanut butter in the house all the time. We have 3
Oh.
Great Pyrenees, so there's just peanut butter everywhere for the dogs.
Mhm.
So that's the one I make the most. I have this like oatmeal dried fruit like orange zest like combination cookie that I've made a couple of times recently because it's like a good, you can eat a lot of it and you
Uh-huh.
don't feel terrible after because it's packed with some good stuff. But
That's cool. All right, got to bring enough for everybody next session.
yes, exactly.
And Jenna says, not a question, just want to say Rachel is awesome. So just wanted to pass that along to
Thank
you.
you, Jenna.